Jonesy and Amanda.
Jam Nation.
Yeah, so Rocco Ritchie is 24 years old. He is, as I said, the son of Madonna and Guy Ritchie.
Mm-hmm.
I think he spent a lot of time growing up with his dad, who's an English filmmaker. He makes all those lock, stock and two smoking barrel kind
Snatch.
of. Yeah, those kind of gangstery, faux, sexy, sharp, smart gangstery films. Am I right in saying that?
Yes.
It'd be very hard growing up in that household, I imagine, being the child of Madonna, the most famous woman in the world, and all the permutations she goes through to stay young, to stay in front, to stay unusual, all this stuff.
Mm.
He is now an artist, and I saw a thing recently where he was talking about his art exhibition. He's got an exhibition in Paris called The Tourist. He was beautifully dressed in a beautiful suit. He can speak French, so he introduced it all in French. And then he was explaining the nature of his paintings. And even though he's grown up in a very privileged position, he's not poor me. He's just tried to make sense of his place in the world. I found him quite engaging.
A lot of the pictures in this show are based off of paparazzi pictures from my teenage years, let's say. At the time, these pictures used to really haunt me because, I was just trying to do what most teenagers do. And then I would wake up with, images in the papers.
I do remember a bunch of pictures of him.
There was a picture of him drinking beer
That's right,
under
yeah.
a bridge, pretty much.
Yes.
And he said, that photo, he could have let it haunt him. Instead, he's turned it into a painting. He said this is how he's going to turn things around for himself.
I definitely, for a few years, struggled with a sense of identity and a certain sense of confidence because I always felt like I had to, live in the shadows of. And then I realized that, this is how it is and this is my life and better, embrace it and head it straight on than have to hide for the rest of my life. And so I thought, what could I make of it? And lucky enough, I'm a painter, so I'm making paintings of it.
Interesting, isn't it? Because a lot of people would say he's the luckiest guy in the world to have all that privilege and all that money, etc. But as he said, he came to terms with, okay, this is my life. How do I let it define me? And there's no self-pity. I was very taken with him. And he's met a number of people on the way who just didn't really give a rat's about who he was. And they were the main people in his life, I think.
This is South Bank itself. A very deep place in my heart because it actually was the place where I formed my first bit of identity. And, I met my first, I would say my rawest friends in this place because the truth is they didn't care who you were. They didn't care where you came from. It was just like, were you good at skating? And could you hang, could you hang? This was like my place of freedom. It was my escape.
That's what you got to do. You just got to hang.
But I was really taken with him. He could have been a brat and all that stuff. And I found him quite self-effacing. And his paintings are lovely. And as I said, there he was in this beautiful suit leading people through the gallery to explain what his paintings were. I was very taken with him.
One wonders what your boys will do. You are on the same trajectory as Madonna.
Yeah.
There's that picture of you in your underpants trying to find a shoe under the bed.
Look, the minute my children find my sex book, we're all in trouble. It's called Take 5 and the magazines are under the bed.